Hi everybody, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our hemp bedding bin. Now, it has been 34 days since my last update. I've been really slow with my bins lately. I do have some food to put in here because I know it's going to need it, and we're going to add some really good food for them, which is watermelon. This is going to add some moisture to the system as it might start drying out a little bit from this amount of time, and we're going to just try to get this system humming along again. We're actually going to see how it is. It might already be doing well. I've never used hemp bedding before. I don't know how much of a food source it is, if they can break it down or not, or if it's just going to be something where it's not breaking down and the worms have no food left really. So with that, let's take a look at the system, see how it's doing after 34 days, and let's get a fairly decent sized feeding in here so that way they can really start to chow down on some of this food and get them really kind of invigorated again. So with that, let's take a look at our system. All right, here's our system. As you can see, our date right here is 9/29, and today is November 2nd. So as I said, 34 days. Let's go ahead and remove this top portion right here and see how this is doing. I see a couple worms on here, so I don't know if you can see them right there. Right in the center of the camera, there's a worm. I thought I saw one other one, down over here. There's another couple worms. So there's a couple of them on here on the top. Lots of moisture, it looks like. It looks pretty good. Actually, there's another one right over here as well. I don't know if you can see that one or not. But there are a couple worms on the top there. And it looks like, wow, it looks like there's a lot of castings on top here too. Just grab my glove, which I just dropped on the floor. Let's get moving in here a little bit and see how this is looking. We got one worm on the side here. Let's push this down just a little bit there. There we go. And look at this material on top. This looks like great castings. You can just see. Looks like great casting material. It's a little bit moist, but it still flakes apart pretty well. So this hemp bedding seems to be making really good material so far, which is a great sign. Now we last fed on this side, so let's go ahead and dig over here. Again, a little bit dry. Open this top section up here. It's really not dry on the bottom though. I guess maybe it was a little bit over one side, a little bit more. A little bit muddy on the bottom. Lots of worms throughout here though. I mean, much smaller because of the fact that they haven't had much food, but there's a lot of worms, which is a great sign. I mean, you can really see, the size of these worms. They're really tiny. Got a couple large ones, but other than that, they're really sort of tiny. And that can happen when there's not enough food in the system. I feel that they shrink down. But again, you can see that there's worms in this handful. And I think there's a mango seed right here that they're working on. You can feel that. But look at that. You can see that they're all over this mango seed trying to break it down. And hopefully that's going to work out for them. There's also a little bit of a banana peel right here, the stem. That takes a while to break down as well. I'm going to put that right over here. Knock all these worms off my gloves. Let's just see what we got over here in this corner. Again, still a little bit more moist than I would like to have it be, but it's not like anaerobic by any means. No smell or anything like that. I mean, it seems like it's pretty good. You can see that there's a little bit more of this hemp bedding material on this side. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's really dark in this material. Unlike the cardboard, when I compost that, this is material that looks like it's getting a much darker color. That black gold look that a lot of people like compared to the brown that you get when you use a lot of cardboard. You can see there's worms almost in every handful so far. Let's just move that a little bit off to the side now. Let's go right down here into the center. You can see, look at this. Just tons of worms. So they're really liking this material. They are breaking it down. I mean, this center section does not have a whole lot of hemp left in it. I feel like pieces that you can see. It's not like this, let me just show you right here. Like right here at this top section, you can really see that there's like hemp pieces or chunks in here. But that is not the case in this section right here. I mean, like in this center section, it's pretty much composted down. The worms have really gone through it all. They've done a great job. And I would recommend this as a bedding material, actually. I think this is a little better than some of the other ones because it broke down a little quicker than like pine, which, isn't surprising. Pine can take a long time to break down. But it does. It seems to be doing a great job. If I had fed them more, I think they would have done even better in here. But you can see, I mean, just every handful has worms in it. And they're all through here. In fact, I probably should flip this over and do a time lapse just so you can see how many worms are in here. I mean, look at this. I mean, as we flip it over here, I mean, you can just see. I mean, there's also all over my gloves. It is a little bit sticky. Probably getting around that time where we maybe should harvest it. Or switch them out into new material. Maybe do a side-by-side harvest if I can remember to do that. Look at that. I mean, you can just see all the worms in here. They're doing a great job. But again, they're really small. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to feed on this side over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of fold all this over. And the feeding we're going to do, you just see, I mean, you can just see all these worms over here. Is we're going to put in our watermelon here. Now the watermelon is frozen. I did debate on like nuking it to warm it up, but you know, I don't think that's a great idea. The whole point of this is to use less energy, not more energy. In fact, I don't know if I've told everybody this, or I'm sure I haven't. All the lights and stuff and camera and everything now, they all run off of batteries. I charge that on a solar battery charger that I bought for camping. So this is all run by solar now, essentially, or as best I can, I should say, because I can't always get it. Put my glove down here, grab my watermelon here, and this watermelon's been sitting in the freezer for a while, so it might not be quite as moist, but it's still got some moisture in it, which is good because I'm not going to be adding any moisture. I'm just going to put this in. As you can tell, it's frozen. I'm not going to weigh for these systems. It's really just for the larger feedings that I'm weighing for. And this stuff should break down very quickly because it's primarily water. And just so you can see here, actually, give me just a second. I'm going to grab some fresh hemp bedding. And just so you can see here what the fresh hemp bedding looks like. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that's very, very fluffy and granular, and compared to the stuff below it, there's a couple pieces that fell in, but compared to the stuff below it, this is very, very different. I mean, like, it's really broken down well. The worms are doing a fantastic job. And yes, I would recommend this as a bedding. I think this is a great bedding for worms. I think it might be, I wonder if this is better than Coco Coir. I know Coco Coir is really good. I mean, I've used that a couple times, but it would compete with it. We're going to go ahead and just cover this up just as it is, like that. We're going to bury this underneath here too. Don't want that mango seed coming out. And really, this has really shrunk down a lot too, this bedding material. I mean, I'd filled it up, I think, kind of high, and it's really shrunk down. So this material's breaking down, but it's also, with it, losing a lot of volume, which makes sense because, I mean, like when I put it in here, it was really kind of, right now it's sort of stuck together and it's kind of compressed a little bit compared to what it was before, where it's very light and airy. So, now I did not put in any crushed crab or eggshell this time. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put some over the top, though. We don't need any water in here. I got my mask on. I'm just going to spread some of this over the top, just in case they need some. It looks like there's plenty in here, but I can't imagine they did any with watermelon. But there we go. Nice dusting of crushed crab and eggshell. And then we're going to put our cover back on here, just like that. And then the last thing I need to do is I need to put on our label right here. There we go, 11/2. Got our 9/29. As it said, 34 days. Worms are doing a great job. I think what we might maybe try to do, maybe do a side-to-side harvest. Maybe move everything over this side, put fresh material over here, and just see if we can get the worms to shift over. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do with this. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. And hopefully we'll kind of do updates a little bit more frequently than every 34 days. So thank you for watching.